Lily, our second kid, she almost died a few times when she was little, like 3 months. Stopped breathing, turned purple. Anna drove her to the hospital, freaking out, and we thought she was dead. They put her on the table. Everyone was kind of like, this is not happening, and they did the thing, and got the little whatever, and she came back. And that happened 3 more times, where she would stop breathing, and we never really got any answers on that, to be honest with you. But it was in that moment where I started wrestling with that very question. Hey, God, I'm out here trying to live a godly lifestyle. I'm full-time in ministry at that point in my life, because I actually legit did get saved at like 19 years old, even though I said I was saved before that. But I'm sitting there going, I don't believe that you're good. I don't believe that you're kind. I don't believe that you're any of those things that I grew up hearing in church. This is BS. Like, it can't be true, because my daughter is on the table almost dead right now. And I remember screaming and freaking out in the hospital. What the, just going nuts. And, I look back in retrospect and I think it was the kindness of God to shake me out of some of the lies that I was believing about him. Because the truth is, I was believing in my heart, even though I said you're good, I believed, no, you're mean, you're vindictive, you're like my dad was. You're just waiting to smite me. You're waiting to throw that lightning bolt and just take me out, And that's what I actually believed, even though I said when I led worship at church, you're so good, Lord, whatever. Absolute BS. And I think, God's kind to shake us out of those lies sometimes. He puts us in situations where we have to actually wrestle with those questions. And for me, it was almost the death of my daughter that I started to go, wait a sec, I don't believe you're good. Show me that you are. Just prove it. Do it. Go ahead. And I opened the door, and then boom, he started doing it over and over. And that was a remarkable time in my life and my wife's life, our family's life, because of a really difficult situation.
Yeah, I think we're always trying to reconcile, right, between what we've been taught in church and then real life. And when those don't add up, it does shake us to the core of our belief system. For me, it was like, if God's in control, and not to make this big theological deal, but for me, it's what changed everything.
Yeah.
Because if God's in control of everything and he's good, how in the world was I sexually abused? Dad married 5 times, mom married 3 times, tons of abuse. How I couldn't reconcile that in my little heart and mind. And so I couldn't trust him. And it wasn't until I could picture him being in those rooms with me, weeping over what was happening to me, that I found that goodness and that kindness too.
Yeah.
But it really was a theological shift in God's sovereignty.
Yeah.
And from what the denomination I grew up in of understanding his sovereignty is this ruler that is in control and in charge of everything. And, you get the well-meaning people like, oh, he can use all things for good. And I'm like, that's a God I don't want anything to do with. You know what I mean? It's like, and then I remember a pastor that I was going to church under one night on a Sunday night, he said, what if I told you God's not in control of everything? And I'm like, you're going to burn in hell, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure lightning's coming. And then over the next few months, he kind of unpacked the sovereignty piece, and it was like, oh, that actually broke Jesus's heart.
Yeah.
That those things happened to me.